Put that back up. That's the best, man. Put that back. That goes back up. Put that Bobby Heenan quote back up. That better be up in post-edit. What's up, unit? It is indeed Bobby Heenan quote week. And that one that was put up, that is my favorite of all time. And for younger or newer subscribers, younger fans, you probably need a little bit more context behind that quote. Right back in my day, early 90s, when WWE truly cared about each show. Like when you walked into an arena, you were in awe. The setup wasn't as grand as it is today. You had like the curtain, maybe the logo, but you didn't just have the ring itself. The commentary table was near the staging, or at least top of the aisleway, but it was its own platform. A lot would go down at that commentary table, by the way. You could set up a lot of storylines by that commentary table. Years later, WCW kind of rekindled that with their Nitro show, and a lot happened at that commentary table. But you also had a separate platform. It was for gimmick interviews, the wrestlers that had their interview shows. So whether it was the Funeral Parlor with Undertaker, the Snake Pit with Jake Roberts, maybe it was Piper's Pit with Rowdy Roddy Piper, or the Barber Shop. But it would have its own platform. Sometimes it would just be a platform. Mean Gene Okerlund would be interviewing Hulk Hogan or Savage or Warrior, Ric Flair with Bobby Heenan. And a lot of times it would be an actual gimmick interview setup, like the Barber Shop. But it was always cool. You walk into an arena and you just knew your eyes was there. It was top of the ramp. It was the ring. It was the commentary table. There was a separate platform for the interviews. There was so much going on. You knew you were in for a complete show. Something that I just wish more thought was put into today, and that we cared more today. But today we just have all of the gimmick interview talk shows. We just have them in the middle of the ring. We add some palm trees and we call it the Waller effect. We put in a door, just a door in the middle of the ring, and we call it knock knock ding dong hello, whatever it's called. That's what we do for the talk shows today. Miz TV gets a, what does Miz TV have? I guess they just put in chairs. Point is, back then, everything had attention to detail. So there was this show called The Barber Shop with this mid-carder, but one of my favorites. His name was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And one of the big storylines at this time was the Rockers imploding, right? Shawn Michaels was starting to get this ego. He started to get really upset with Jannetty, like he was the anchor in the team. He was holding them down. And you just knew the Rockers were going to turn. Michaels, more so, was going to turn on Jannetty. But the way that it was done would end up going down as the best, if not one of, bare minimum, the best turns in pro wrestling history. Shawn Michaels hoisting up Jannetty's arm like, we're not turning, dude. I'll correct myself. Let's continue to whoop that ass as the Rockers. And Jannetty's all in. And he lifts up Jannetty's arm and then, boom, super kick to Jannetty when he turns around. And then Michaels does the unthinkable. He takes Jannetty and he puts his dome piece through the barber shop glass window. Jannetty face first through the glass window from Shawn Michaels. The Shawn Michaels heel turn complete. A few moons after that, Sensational Sherry would join him. The Sexy Boy theme song was created. And the Shawn Michaels rise, that meteoric rise, was on its way. But the way that it was done was so brilliant. And what made it even better is you had a heel broadcaster, a heel commentator that was the best at what they did. A position that is still needed today, but unfortunately is not there. Corey Graves was the closest that we got. But Bobby the Brain Heenan, when that happens, Heenan says, did you see that? Jannetty tried to put himself through the window to escape. What a coward. Bobby Heenan tried to twist it into the heel narrative of Bobby Heenan, right? Jannetty tried to escape by jumping through the barbershop window. What a coward. That's clearly not what Michaels put him through it. But that's the role that was so beautifully played back then by individuals like Bobby Heenan and Jesse the Body Ventura and several others. But no one quite like Bobby Heenan and Jesse Ventura. You need those heel commentators, man. The one where the heel does the dastardly deed in the match and somebody like Bobby Heenan is going, what? I dropped my contact. I didn't see. What happened? It all looks normal to me, Shivani. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see the low blow and the poke to the eyes. I dropped my contact. You're seeing things, Gorilla Monsoon. Right? Something happens by the dastardly heel and you're like, and then Heenan's like, what? This idiot behind me, this Hammenhager was screaming. I couldn't hear over this idiot. Damn it, Gorilla Monsoon. Boot him. Kick him out of the arena. Meanwhile, the heel is doing all this dastardly stuff, and Bobby Heenan does not want to even acknowledge it. It was beautiful. Right? At home, you're like, oh, you know you saw that. And Bobby Heenan would actually get at people. He would poke at people by doing such. So that quote was just so hilarious. Jannetty tried to put himself through the window just to escape. What a coward. That's not what happened. It was so awesome, man. So I just want to take you back to a time when, man, it was just one of the best storylines. It was the start of one of the biggest superstars, larger than life, that we would end up seeing, because that's what Shawn Michaels became. And the implosion of one of the best tag teams we will ever have seen, the Rockers, and just how it was done and how attention to detail mattered back then. And one of the biggest reasons we rant so much on a channel like this is because we just don't have that today. With that roster and with everything that WWE has in terms of resources, not just financially, just in every which way, the resources today far outweigh the resources that Vince McMahon had back in the day. And yet, they're just going through the motions today. You don't get anything like that today, guys. You don't. There's nothing like the Rockers in that breakup. And the sad part is that was 20 plus years ago, easily. Where is that attention to detail today? Where's that care? Where's the individuals like Bobby Heenan, man? The greatest manager of all time, by the way. That's not a hot take. Much love to Paul Heyman. Sensational Sherry, Miss Elizabeth, Harvey Whippleman, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Even Luna Vachon after her singles career. She kind of did both at the same time. Much love to all of them. But Bobby Heenan was, I mean, the Heenan family and the different variations through the years and how many champions he's had. You know, you can put Paul Heyman close to him, but Bobby Heenan is just untouched. And on the commentary table, you know, Jerry Lawler, too, has to get some love. We say Jesse the Body Ventura, Bobby Heenan for that heel commentator that always kind of happened to have not seen the dastardly deed from the heel. What? I didn't see anything. What? Jerry Lawler played that so well, and that's what helped the Attitude Era. But I think a lot of younger fans just hear Attitude Era and they're like sick of hearing it. Oh, we know. We understand. It's the best era and this isn't touching it. We get it. But what people don't understand is, guys, this was before the Attitude Era. What I'm talking about in the attention to detail and when wrestling was fun, it was even before Attitude, guys. This was early 90s. This had nothing to do with Attitude Era. Early 90s Attitude Era wasn't even a dream. It wasn't even, WCW Nitro wasn't even around. No Monday Night Wars. I don't even know if Monday Night Raw was around yet, possibly. But that's what I'm talking about, guys. It doesn't have to be this one little era that was so good and then it fizzled out and nobody can ever touch it again. No, it was before that. You just have to care. Think about what you're doing. Have fun doing it. Care about it. There's no reason gimmick interview talk show segments with wrestlers that have that gimmick talk show shouldn't have a standalone set. Make the fans feel that different level, that next level of intrigue the second they get into the arena. But it's a microwave society, and fans don't even care these days. They'll pay 10 times the amount they did back in the day, and they'll be satisfied just yeeting and screaming, "This is awesome!" If only it was. And that is your cold open. I took the whole cold open. I just talked Bobby Heenan. That's right. Hopefully. Do we have any audio on that? I want to put audio post-edit. If we can do that, I want audio. I want you guys to hear Bobby Heenan. If I'm not able to get that audio, if the team is not able to get that audio, then this is going to be just an awkward 5 seconds of television.
Right through the glass window of the barber shop. Janetti tried to dive through the window to escape. Did you see? Are you blind?
Hopefully you guys heard it, man. Hopefully. Or it was just an awkward 5 to 10 seconds of television. Bobby Heenan, man. Janetti tried to put himself through the barbershop. What a coward. Love it. All right. That's it. That's the cold open. Let's get into I'm going to get another swig. Then we're going to get into these stories, guys. Believe it or not, this isn't amped up for Monday, the 17th of February. So, salute. Thanks for letting BC have a little bit of story time in my cold open. But we are going to talk some pro wrestling discussion, some big stories. Road Dogg, Jesse James, from what we're hearing, I did get it double sourced and verified as well. But I want this triple, I just want to make sure. But the story is out there, so we are going to discuss it. I don't have the fine details for you guys, but from what we are hearing, Road Dogg, Jesse James, Brian James, whatever you want to call this dude, he is back as one of the lead head writers for WWE. We believe the Blue brand, Smackdown. And a lot of fans are not happy with this at all. AJ Styles is trying to defend him already. Some of the wrestlers are trying to come to his defense already. So we'll go over what they're saying back to the fans, because AJ and a lot of wrestlers are trying to tell the fans, hold on, relax, give the dude a chance. So we'll talk about it, guys. Road Dogg is back, and we'll talk about why a lot of fans are not happy and why a lot of wrestlers are trying to come to his defense. We're also talking the minimum wage in WWE has increased. Now, you want to say it's a good thing, right? More money. Everybody's getting more money. If you work at McDonald's, you're getting almost $20 an hour, if not. Cool. WWE, you're putting your body on the line every time you're in that ring. Cool. But BC's going to just look at the other side, the flip side of that pancake, and why it might not be best for business, at least not for our viewing pleasure. I'll talk about it coming up. And we'll also talk stupid thing. We should make it a segment, right? Stupid things that Bubba says. Bubba says stupid things. Bubba Dudley saying some more stupid stuff. Several things. I don't know. I'll just pick a couple of things, and we'll just be, because it's so obnoxious. We just kind of want to body slam these things down before they actually become a thing. Like yeeting should start every single show going forward. How about no? We'll talk all about it. It's coming up. I do have to give a shout out, a new thing we're going to start doing. It's the Channel Member of the Week, and it starts right now. I have a new Channel Member of the Week. This a 26 month. I think that's as long as we've had channel membership. This was at random, by the way. BC just had the and I just started going and boom, randomly stopped right on Jacqueline Robinson, like the 4th or 5th ever channel member, by the way. So I think 26 months is as long as we've even had. I can't even believe we've had it for 26 months. That's wild. But that means Jacqueline is not just gold card, not just diamond member, but she has earned that Coffee Club VIP club membership. So that's really cool. I love seeing the Coffee Club members always, especially in the lives. So Jacqueline Robinson was one of the first, literally like 4th or 5th, I remember, right? It was like Jack Brewer, JR9, couple other individuals, I believe. Jacqueline was right there, man. So it's pretty cool that is our first ever channel member of the week. So I want to start honoring my members for sure, man, because that is next top tier level of support to the channel. So I thank you guys big time. And Jacqueline Robinson, this is, you're the member of the week. You sit at the head of the board of directors at that board table. Rock, you got to move. Jacqueline Robinson's in now for the whole week, Rock. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk Road Dogg. Let's go right to the big story. Oh, by the way, hope to be live with you guys tonight before Raw. Stop by the channel, say what's up to BC in the unit. Subscribe, notified. You don't have to keep checking. You wouldn't have to worry about a thing. You'll be notified. We live. So before Raw, I hope to do a little pre-show with you guys. All the latest news leading up to Raw. What WWE is promoting for Raw, and BC's thoughts. You guys shoot the shit with BC. Super chats will be open, obviously, and we'll rock out. So that's tonight. Hopefully. I always say, you never know with BC, man. And then I never give a moment's notice. I just go live. It's just a surprise. BC's live. Most people catch on the replay like, you were live, BC. I told you should be notified, man. You don't just be subscribed, guys. You got to be double. You got to do the double tap. Subscribe, notify. That's the trick. Then you know BC's rocking. And then I know you're rocking. And by the way, smash that up. I've had a lot of coffee. Can you guys tell? Smash that up. Help out that algorithm. I do appreciate it. Road Dogg, Jesse, another swig of coffee. Is there ever enough coffee? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's do you think there's enough coffee? How about you? There's never enough coffee. There's never enough coffee. All right, Road Dogg Jesse James is back in WWE. From what we know, I got this double source, double verified, guys. So it looks like this is 100% accurate. But I do something like this. I really want Triple. I was hoping that Brian James would be like, Road Dogg would be like, oh, good to be back. But confirm it himself. But this is a big story out there. From what we know, it is completely accurate. Road Dogg, Hunter Helmsley has brought back, yet again, this is the third time, right? At least second. Maybe third time that he's brought back Road Dogg. Since Vince kicked him to the wayside before Vince left. And then Hunter brought him back a couple of times now. So he's going to be a head writer for Smackdown, from what we were hearing. Already started this past Friday. Also, from what I'm hearing. Now, fans are absolutely, obviously, outraged, right? Most. Because this is not his first rodeo. Right? Road Dogg, basically, guys, from 2016 to 2022, he was in some realm of creative. No matter what that realm was. He was actually head of creative sometime between 16 and 19, correct? 2016, 2019, I believe it was. And then in 2022 is when he finally got released or fired. But he was still... The point is, from 2016 to 2022, whether in a confirmed role or not, he was running a large part of creative. And for several years within that 2016 to 2022 timeframe, he was the head of creative. And of course, the reason fans are outraged is because the product absolutely sucked. It was bad beyond bad. Now, the product today, we all know, right? We're all... Most of us are in agreement if you use logic and common sense and you just be honest about what you're watching. This company is nowhere near where it should be, right? WrestleMania season, it's 2 months away, guys. If that, maybe less. And Hunter has no storylines. There's none. Not even storylines that are fun. There's just no storylines. There's nothing. We just have weird matches being talked about. Like there might be a triple threat. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Nobody's stopping to think, wait, that makes no fucking sense. Why would we see a triple threat? There's nothing on the line, no titles, no nothing. You're just watching Punk, Rollins, and Roman. Punk and Roman don't have a feud that would warrant a triple threat. Seth and Roman? Maybe. If you need to see that in 2025 because you didn't get enough of that over 10 years ago, okay, we'll watch it in 2025. If that tickles your fancy. If that's the stroke that you need to keep going. If that's the battery that you need put into the backside to get you moving, then have at it. Roman versus Seth Rollins. But why are you adding Punk? Punk did a favor for Roman. Punk has a favor back from Paul. It's all good. Did they punch each other a little bit at Royal Rumble, maybe? I don't know. I can't even recall. But Punk wouldn't have an issue with Roman to the point where they would need to be in a Mania match and you add Sethington Rollins and there's nothing on the line. We're just seeing three dudes fight each other. Right? If it's a triple threat of Fatal 4, you need something on the line, guys. What are we doing? And fans aren't even questioning that because the WrestleMania card is so bad, there is nothing. The WrestleMania season is so bad that they're just happy to be talking about something or hearing that something is being talked about. So fans are just like, all right, triple threat. For what? Random matchups like Logan Paul might face John Cena. Or if Punk isn't in a triple threat, Logan Paul versus John Cena. Guys, Logan Paul versus Cena or Punk is stupid. Paul is super athletic and he wants to try all this crazy stuff. John Cena and CM Punk would be injured in the first 60 seconds if they try to lock up with Logan Paul. They're not the same like they used to be. They got to work very differently. That's why Cena versus Gunther was the match, because Gunther can work that style with Cena. And hey, what a WrestleMania moment when Cena captures the record. No, we don't want that WrestleMania moment. We want a yeet, because that's the match you do have. The Yeet Master versus Gunther. And it's all just so everyone can yeet afterwards. And beforehand, right? Get tens of thousands of people to yeet and hope that Sports Illustrated and People Magazine talk about it. WrestleMania was electric with yeeting. There's nothing. The mid-carders have nothing. You guys know that. Lyra Valkyria, your IC champion that should have a storyline right now leading to Mania, she's just losing to Bayley last Monday. And then Bayley picks her up and points at her like, you're going to be something, kid. Val has a championship. She should already feel like she's something. She has a title. Instead, she has a title with no storyline and nobody cares about her. That's your IC Women's Champion. That's her booking for WrestleMania right now. Just getting pinned by Bayley last Monday and no storyline. Shinsuke Nakamura is your United States Champion and he just lingers around backstage every single Friday night. That's all Shinsuke does. He has no storyline. He just set up something with Miz and LA Knight this past Friday and then he just disappeared, right? He was in the ring, he was talking. And then Miz and LA Knight just went into business for themselves. Shinsuke was never seen again. Maybe he popped up at the end of the match just to be like, hey, I'm creepily here again. Shinsuke just lurks around the back. That's his storyline for the U.S. champion. Their mid-card champion does nothing but walk around backstage. And if you think it's better over on Raw with their IC champion, mid-card champion, no, it's Braun Breaker. And if you think about his booking, he does the same thing. He just walks around backstage. And he just creepily walks up to people and just looks at them. He's like, hey, I'm Braun. I have this. I don't do anything else. But I'll walk up to you again. That's Braun. He just walks around just like Shinsuke. Problem is they're champions. Problem is it's 2 months from Mania. Where's their storyline? There's nothing, guys. Valkyria, Braun Breaker, Shinsuke. What other champions, guys? What other champions do you want to throw? Tag team titles? Who's even got them? DIY. There's no story. They're just adding the entire tag team division. I already see where this is going. I would not be shocked if it's like a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. Like a bunch of teams going for the titles. Because that's what they do every year. Because they never care about giving us a true story. Champions versus number one contenders. Challengers. It's just everybody. And there's never a story attached to it. Every week, just teams will face each other in the ring. That's the story. Raw Tag Team Champions, I don't even know who they are. I really don't. Was it Judgment Day or did they give them up to somebody? I don't even know. It was Miz and R-Truth, Judgment Day. Who has the Tag Team Championships on Raw? It doesn't even matter. War Raiders, I think, right? The Raiders? They just got their name back, War Raiders, and then the next week they win titles, and that's supposed to make us go, yeah, war! What the heck? What are the Raiders doing? What is their storyline? They don't have one. Nothing you care about. Guys, I'm running through all the titles. You guys understand that? Cody Rhodes doesn't even have a storyline. He's still playing around with Solo just so we can figure out who's going to win the Chamber to face Cody. The Rock storyline fell to the wayside thanks to nobody else but The Rock himself. I'm just dropping facts, guys. It's what BC does. A lot of people appreciate that. Some people get pissed off at it. I understand. You know, a lot of this is tough to hear. So I understand why people would be pissed off from hearing these words. You don't want to believe it. But then it hits you like a ton of bricks. It's true. Everything BC is saying is facts. Gunther's championship. We're just getting the same match we just saw at Saturday night's main event, which was, by the way, a rematch that we already saw when they were facing each other for the IC championship, the mid-card title. Then they faced each other for the world title at Saturday night's main event a few weeks ago. And now we're getting the same exact match again, a rematch of a rematch of a rematch, so we can yeet every single time. I'm just talking titles, guys. There's no storylines for anybody. You're just going to see Gunther and Jey Uso, by the way, just brawl every single show until we get to Mania. Just like they did with Cody and KO. Brawl every single show till we get to Rumble. Because we already saw them face each other a bunch of times, just like Jey and Gunther. So that's the storyline. The storyline is they just brawl. The storyline is it's on site every single show. Cool. Cool story, bro. A story we've seen too many times. And that's just the titles. And then everything to do without a title. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. Oh boy. No storyline. That's just Charlie getting the title back again so she can inch closer to her father's record. But anything to do without a title, forget about it. That's going to be thrown together last second by Hunter Helmsley. They moved WrestleMania to 2 nights. The problem is they can't even fill one night anymore with intriguing, captivating storylines and feuds that we need to see culminated at WrestleMania. That's the problem. So that's today's product. It ain't much better, if any, than what we got back in 2016 to 2022 with Kennedy McMahon at the helm. Road Dogg was your writer. Hunter and Road Dogg were doing a lot of the creative back then, guys. A lot of the input was from them. That's why fans are outraged. They're like, wait, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Road Dogg is coming back when he put together some of the worst years as it is. But AJ Styles and some wrestlers came to Road Dogg's defense. This is what AJ Styles said about Road Dogg and why fans, or at least this is his response to the fans' outrage. AJ had to tell everybody, hold on, relax, before everybody just starts tearing up Road Dogg. Just remember that was at a time, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he's like, that was at a time where another person was pretty much picking out all of the ideas to the point where they were no longer his ideas. And he means Vincent Kennedy McMahon, right? Styles, that's obvious. He's talking about Vince McMahon. In other words, that Road Dogg would have been better if Vince wasn't ripping up every piece of paper and telling him no to all of his ideas. That's what he's alluding to. Problem with that is it was not just him, right? Hunter was also there bouncing off ideas. This is not the first time that Vince has told people no or rip things up. Vince Russo will tell you that. Vince has always been the final decision maker. Vince Russo had to filter through him, as many others did. So AJ Styles is saying, wait, you're going to get somebody totally better. This near 56-year-old dude knows what's best for business. That's because that's what you got. You got Hunter Helmsley that's in his 50s. I forgot exactly what, but he's deep in his 50s. Road Dogg is about to be 56 in a few months, correct? Something like that. And this is who's heading the ship. That's the problem. The problem is you can claim it was just Vince. Vince is the reason Road Dogg sucked for 6 years. Or you can say Road Dogg wasn't the piece of the puzzle that was needed. It didn't fit properly. If you want to give this dude another chance, bring him in at a much lesser role, that's one thing. To bring him back just because he's your buddy in the top spot, right under Hunter, he's the head writer for SmackDown. That's what we're hearing, guys. He's the lead writer for SmackDown. But his resume doesn't qualify as such. And if he did start this past Friday night, well, a lot of fans were not happy with that show, so we're already off to a rough start. I absolutely will say that it's got to be rough the last 10 years with Vincent Kennedy. I would not want to write under that. Absolutely. But we all got much more than we needed of a taste of what Road Dogg brings to the table. because Road Dogg himself defended a lot of it. When a lot of people were blaming Vince, see, this is what AJ Styles has to understand. Back then, Road Dogg was fighting back with people on the online doohickey machine. The social, what was it called back then? The tweeter machine, right? And he was blasting fans back that were blasting him. And they were going back and forth. And a lot of people were trying to come to the defense of Road Dogg, right? Oh, it's Vince. And what would Road Dogg do? No, that was my idea. That was mine. Hold on, you can blame Vince for a lot of things. That was mine, or that was mine. He would take ownership. That's honorable. But the flip side is, you're taking ownership, bro. And it sucked. So AJ has to remember that a lot of it was actually Road Dogg just not producing good television, not producing good segments. As much as we just want to blame Vince, it was Road Dogg being bad. And that's why fans are upset. Because they're like, wait, we're just bringing the same dude back. Which was, you can call him Vince's boy, and that's how he was in that position anyway. Or you can call him Hunter's boy, and that's how he was in that position 3 different times now. But no matter whose boy it is, for years we've had Road Dogg doing creative. And for years this product has sucked. That's why fans are upset. So yeah, give him another chance, yada yada. Maybe under Hunter it'll be better. Of course, we don't have a choice. Of course we're going to give it another chance. It's not like we can just go, we vote no. Sorry, Road Dogg. We have voted no as a wrestling community. No, we don't have a Hunter's got the final say, and Hunter said, you know what? Road Dogg is your new, or the dude right under me in creative. All right. But the track record, the resume it's not good. And when the dude himself says you can blame Vince all you want, but this was mine, and this was my idea, and this was mine. Well, dude, if he's telling you it was him, eventually you got to believe that it was him. And no, a lot of us don't find comfort that Hunter being under Hunter is going to be that much better. Because with Hunter himself, the product is struggling beyond any means. Struggling mightily. So now you're just adding another dude in his 50s that's already been part of a bad product for years. And a lot of it his ideas. That's why the community is like, what? When I first heard it, guys, I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. Hunter just brought another one of his boys in? Is he in the Hall of Fame singly, or is he just in for DX? Because that's coming up. Road Dogg will be in the Hall of Fame, because now it's just like one hand wash the other. It's just a inside joke to all of them now. They're making so much damn money that they're just going into business for themselves, right? Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are just having fun with H and Stephanie. They're just like, you're going in the Hall of Fame, surprise. So then Hunter surprises Michelle McCool. And before even saying you deserve it, you're going in on your accolades, he admits this is just to get back at the Undertaker for surprising him. So Hunter's like, I had to get you back, Taker. So Michelle, you're going into the Hall of Fame. Like, what? You can't say it. I mean, obviously that's what you're doing. It's just the boys having fun. And you're using the Hall of Fame as their platform to do it. At our expense, they're having their fun. So Michelle McCool is going in out of nowhere. Hunter should be focusing on Mania. Instead, now he's got to focus on a Hall of Fame because the boys want to giggle. They're trying to one-up each other and trying to rib and have fun while doing it live and affecting the actual product. All right. So we got a weird Hall of Fame. Hunter's going in. Michelle McCool. You got fucking probably Road Dogg. If he's not individually, he's going in individually, or they'll find a separate tag team, him and Bill Gunn. But I already see how this is all going to pay out. He's bringing his boy back in, and they're going to be creative together. There's a chance this could become even worse television than we've been getting. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I said Hunter needs help creatively. Bring in smart people that just got a good feel for everything. Not in a billion years would I have suggested Road Dogg Jess James. Oh, you didn't know? I didn't want to know that you were coming. I wish we did not know that you were coming. I wish there was just like Wizard of just stay behind the curtain. We can just blame Hunter. But now, you know what? It's Road Dogg again. We'll see. Hoping for the, listen, come back rejuvenated, and maybe Road Dogg will give us the best television ever, right? Chef's kiss. That's what we're hoping for. Remain optimistic, unit. That's what we're going to do. Seek the power of positivity, right, New Day? Speaking of New Day, this next storyline, this is huge. On one hand, you're very happy for the talent. On the other hand, this ain't going to be good for the company. In one big way. I'll explain. So, WWE's minimum wage pay has went up for the talent. Up from, I believe, $250 to $350, I believe is what I came across numbers-wise. So, $250 to $350, roughly around that. Now, on one hand, obviously, guys, you don't need BC to tell. That's really cool, right? Don't player hate. Somebody got a huge raise. Salute. We can only all be so lucky. Pretty cool. Got a huge raise. The 100G raise. Yeah. You can buy a house with your raise. So, on one hand, obviously, guys, and that's a period. There's no yeah, but. There's no however. That's just a period. Congratulations to everybody that got that huge raise. Okay? I'm going to start a new sentence. No however, no but. Congratulations. Now my next sentence. On the flip side, okay, we've congratulated. That's really cool. Now the flip side is complacency. It's already in the company, guys. We know that, right? New Day. We just mentioned New Day. Much love and respect to Xavier Woods and many other, but you guys know what happens backstage, right? This is what pissed off The Undertaker and why he called today's wrestler soft. He got a lot of backlash, even fans that came to their defense like, oh, I'd play video games too if I was backstage. You know, but Undertaker is like, dude, people like me are here. Don't you want to ask us advice? Don't you want to work on promos? Don't you want to work on character? Every waking moment that you're backstage, you're basically on the clock. Don't you want to just make sure you're finding every avenue to try to get over as possible? And instead, Taker, he exposed what a lot of people did. That a lot of these wrestlers are just playing video games until they're needed. They have to film something, record something, audio something, go out to the ring. They're just playing video games, right? They're decompressing, right? It's to help their mental health or whatever. The video games help, right? That's what everyone was trying to tell Undertaker and Dustin Rhodes and so many others. So they're getting a lot of money, and Xavier and Kofi, all of them, they're not getting minimum, obviously, not anymore. No, they're getting sizable contracts, and they're just playing video games. And the last 5 to 10 years, what have we been saying, guys? 5 to 10 might be deep, but 5 years, yes, years. We've been saying they're stale. Something's got to happen with the New Day. Now, finally, they just did, but the booking is so bad, they're already an afterthought, unfortunately. It's just dragging out. It's weird. We've been playing 2 months of just, everyone doesn't like them. Well, that's good for like a few weeks. You eventually got to get to that next level, though. Like there has to be progression. It's like Hunter had no plan whatsoever. Like, that was the plan, right? You turn heel, everyone like turns against you, and then just like attack Rey Mysterio, oddly. And that's what happened, guys. Like last Monday, in the final 3 seconds of the show, like New Day jumped in the ring and just started beating up Rey Mysterio. Okay. Can't wait to see Dragon Lee and Rey versus New Day, I guess. I don't know. Right? Nothing really happened. But at least they did something recently. At least something that was newsworthy. Because for years, we've been saying how, they're just beyond stale. Nobody was doing anything. Not a Vincent Kennedy, not a Hunter Helmsley. They didn't seem like they were adding anything to their repertoire. And then you just hear, like, they're just playing video games. And Xavier has his channel, up, down, left, right, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? And he's doing all these tournaments on his, his mind's everywhere else. Good for him. Meanwhile, why are you in the... because he's a lifer, right? So, there's no... Until he retires, you're probably just going to watch Xavier Woods for the next 10 years. Dolph Ziggler. Sadly, Dolph was one of the best actual pound-for-pound wrestlers that I've seen in a long time. And Dolph was just there for the paycheck. Basically admits it in so many interviews, right? He'll be doing his comedy show. He'll be writing for his comedy backstage. Instead of, like, working on promos or character development or what can I do to get over or what ideas do I have. He was just doing all of his other side endeavors because he was already thinking like, this is I got a fat paycheck coming in. So Dolph always just settled, and that was so frustrating because he was too good to settle. And I do wish that Dolph just spoke up a lot more, and he ended up going to the wayside anyway. So he probably should have. I'm just giving you guys some examples of just a lot of individuals that were what we deemed as lifers, and they were just sitting there collecting a paycheck. And it becomes complacent, and it becomes not fun for the fans. It's stale. And you could say what you want about releasing and firing people back in the day, but if you notice, there was always this new fresh feeling with WWF/WWE, right? That's how you always had fresh main events and fresh faces back in the day, whether it was an earthquake or this guy comes in. Now, The Undertaker was different because he kept, we shouldn't be shocked, right? It's The Undertaker that calls today's wrestlers more soft. It's The Undertaker that says you should be spending every second working on your character and what you can do to get over. And of course, The Undertaker became what he became. But I don't even know if Vince knew that was going to happen when they brought him in as a fresh heel to take on some of his top faces. Sergeant Slaughter, what if we turn him heel and we set this awesome storyline? And it was, man. They turned him against the U.S. That was a wild storyline back in 91. But there was always this freshness, right? Zeus comes out of nowhere. They made a dude like Zeus that wasn't even a pro wrestler, more of an actor. Remember Friday? You just got knocked the fuck out, Chris Tucker. They brought Zeus in, and it just made sense. It was so awesome. You had to watch it. You had to stay up at 1 a.m. to catch it on Saturday night's main event in that cage match. Hogan versus Zeus. I think it was a tag match, right? Zeus and Macho Man. Who was Hogan's partner? Was it Warrior or Brutus Beefcake? Point is, there was always this freshness, man. You always just had an influx. There was always people coming in, and when something wasn't working or got redundant, unfortunately, you had to take your talents and go make your money elsewhere. Come back maybe, right? People came back, but it ran its course. It wasn't working. And nowadays, we're just in this realm of, it's just like a charity. We're treating it just like it is actual just employment. And again, on one hand, you can say, well, that's great, but it's not employment. If it was, you'd be getting all the benefits, right? You could be getting the health care, all of it. You'd be getting benefits, 401k, you'd probably be unionized. But it's not. So why is everybody why is everybody just a lifer then? And if they are going to stick around for 20, 30 years, then you have to get even more creative with them because they will run their course and get stale. And the product will suffer and it will be a detriment to the fans. Because then we got to watch this same old tired act nonstop. Miz, I like the Miz. He's done so much for the company. Of course he's not going to get released or fired. And I'm not calling for that. But damn, how many more years can you guys watch the same old Miz shtick? You guys know I'm being nothing but truthful right now, man. I'm dropping facts. I'm not calling for any job to be lost, necessarily. But if we can't come up to a term of new creativity that fans care about, then yes, you're taking a position from somebody that could be a performer that captivates more. So if that means you have to take your talents elsewhere, then that's what it is. People move on from Costco, Target, McDonald's, Uber drivers. They move on to other things. Just because you're a pro wrestler should not grant you a job for eternity. If it's not working, you are performers. It's all about the reaction. It's all about the care, the intrigue, the interest. And if it's not there because you've been there for 20 years and you've gotten complacent and you're cashing in fat checks and you don't care anymore and creative doesn't give a shit because you've been there for so long, it's just like, oh, it's Xavier. Oh, it's Dolph. Oh, it's Miz. That's a problem when you're a performer on a television show like this. You guys know that's truth. So it's just a discussion. That's all I'm saying. Raising the minimum wage is just going to make a lot of talents. This is the truth. We've already seen it. Undertaker, Dustin Rhodes, so many have already exposed this backstage. A lot of talents are just complacent these days. Giving them even more money is not going to put that boot in their ass. Some maybe. Most probably not going to do it. So that's the issue. Congratulations, everybody. You're making a bill more, dude, $100,000 more. That is awesome. On the flip side, for fans, it's not that great. Complacency, you're going to start to see that even more. And if creative doesn't care, if Hunter doesn't care about what he's giving these individuals creatively, then it's going to be a massive detriment. Complacency. I hope that does not rear its head even more so with this jacked up minimum wage. Moving on. Ooh, a lot of coffee, a lot of good discussion, unit. Stupid stuff Bubba says. Oh, we'll end on a lighthearted note, a little bit of fun. Bubba Dudley, for some reason, and maybe he says a lot of this stupid shit just to get the headline, right? Oh, I said this, right? Look what I said. Yeeting should start every single Monday night. Guys, Bubba Dudley said that recently. And it was so obnoxious that, yeah, it made wrestling headlines. Bubba Dudley saying that if he had the creative pen, he would have Jey Uso start every show because the crowd is hot. And he would just have him yeeting every single show going forward. Bubba, you ever hear of played out? Bubba, did you ever hear of redundancy? Bubba, did you ever hear of creativity? If you have, that tells you everything you need to know. If Bubba hasn't said the dumbest shit before, but he would just have, I mean, his first 25 minutes of every show is already mapped out. Just go out there and yeet. It'll set everything on fire, and it'll make everybody go, oh, I gotta top that. That's what he said. How did that work Monday night? Go back and watch. Do you guys realize the crowd was, at its hottest because it's the start of the show, and they got to dance. Guys, after that, they were burnt out. They're like, oh, Valkyria and Bayley. Val and Bayley wasn't that bad, but they were burnt out already. The first 25 minutes of every show, because that's bare minimum, because he's going to do it for 10 minutes, and then he's going to stop, and everyone's going to go, one more time, and then he's going to go, and his music will kick up, and we'll get 4 or 5 more minutes. That's how you'll start you don't want to get creative and like add to it or put it in a different spot of the night. No, just that's Bubba for you, right? About as creative as a Helmsley at this point. And I'm not even done. Then the dude says the only way that he would, and I'm paraphrasing because these are headlines. I mean, literally, it's so bad of a take. Like the dude has some of the worst takes in pro wrestling fans are wondering, is Bubba okay? Like, was it too many chair shots to the dome piece, maybe? Or is he just saying wild things just to try to get clicks and views? Like, nobody know. Like, what happened to Bubba Dudley? Bubba says the only way that he would have John Cena win or get the record for most championships, the only way is if Randy Orton was involved and if Orton also had 16. And the way that he would do it is, and he literally says, this is going to sound stupid, I know, but a ladder match. And Orton and Cena would be in a ladder match, both with 16 titles, and the winner becomes the record holder. What in the world are you talking about? Randy Orton and Cena should not be battling for this right now is John Cena's, first of all. Second of all, a moment like that, you capture it with the magic based on the fundamentals, man, where foundation of pro wrestling was built upon. You don't have to overthink this. You literally do not have to overthink this. You literally just have Cena for somebody like Gunther, and you make it as monumental as imaginable. You make sure the world knows they're about to witness something epic. Randy Orton and John Cena, at their age, do you know the back that Randy has, how bad it is? Do you know that John Cena moves about 46% less than what he did even 2 years ago? And you just want to put him in a ladder match. You want Orton to get 2 more titles, because isn't Orton would need a couple more titles, correct? By the end of the year, and Cena only has this 1 year. So Orton would have to win a couple more times just to tie him. And then you want to put him in a ladder match. What the fuck? Face versus face, more than likely, by the way. And then one person just doesn't even get it's just so bad. It is so bad. The only way you would have Cena win this is if Orton is involved. Orton's a couple away, dude. You can make that a storyline in the future with Orton if you want. if he sticks around longer, if his back will hold up. But you don't have to oversaturate such a simplistic, monumental moment. Oh, like you know, on one hand, like you want to say, like people have to stop giving this dude the headlines, because it goes into the news and the headlines, and then people actually have to spend the time deciphering through the absolute garbage takes that are being distributed. It is wild, man. If it's just like an opinion, that's one thing. But this is a dude that honestly thinks he's like the most creative person in pro wrestling. Like literally, he was recently, I saw what I see. Like he was trying to tell Tony Khan how to run AEW. Or he was like, if I was working, I wouldn't tell Tony what to do. I would literally sit and work with him. Yes, Tony Khan is probably going, damn, I need Bubba Dudley to do my creative. That's what I need. Bubba Dudley has to write my creative. He'll have somebody go out there and dance for 25 minutes every single show. Name is BC. To my unit, thank you for joining me on today's Amped Up. What was it? 217-25. Hope to be live before Raw later, so check out the channel. Subscribe, notified, smash the up, do all the things, smash all the buttons down below. Thanks for joining me, man. What an amped up. Until next time, there will be that next time, top guys. We are out. BC and the unit saying, check you. Salut!